All right, we're back at Saugus TV. You better believe it. Take a good picture of this one this week. We got it all right here. We got Peter and Bella, my old mascots. They're up there on the bridge, Rainbow Bridge, playing with all the other dogs up there. And we got a great show this week, unbelievable, on the memories of the Boston Garden. We got some great things going on. We got 3 great matches, I believe, with Peter Maivia, the High Chief, the Rock's grandfather, against the living legend, Bruno Sammartino from the Boston Garden. That's a great one. We got it all. We got it all coming at you right here. We're going to talk about a lot of things this week, and we're going to talk a little bit about the biography, some of the rivals. I've been checking that out, and it's pretty interesting, some of the things that they're doing now on A&E. So we're going to come back at you right away with some great programs from the Boston Garden and all the great things that we had right here at Saugus Community TV. Hey, we're back here. All the memories from the Boston Garden right here at Saugus TV. We got it right here with our crew this week. We got it all shot and tall. We're coming at you fast. So don't go away. We're going to come back with the little picture of my friend Bill Rossi, who had just passed away. He was the last person on the show, and we're going to go into that. And then a lot of great things are coming after that. All right, that's my buddy, the Bandit. Last guy that was on the memories of the Boston Garden. I can't get it out. I'm kind of like thinking about all these things with, he was just here. This is our first show. Spring has sprung and a new day has begun here. And we're trying to get some great things on, but we had, it was a little misfortunate. I don't want to dwell on it, but we had some great things with him. We were lucky to get him on. We snuck him in. We got him right in there. And of course, he had passed away. And he was a great guy and real great person as far as in wrestling, out of wrestling. And we miss him very much. And we say he's up there with all the guys up there, with all the guys. He might be refereeing, he might be wrestling, but we miss you very much, Bandit. Hey, we're back here. Memories of the Boston Garden, and there's my 2 guys, Peanut and Bella, on Revere Beach, with all my great memories of my dogs. I miss them very much, and who knows, I might get a couple more. Who knows? Right here at Memories of the Boston Garden, we're coming back right here. We got some programs, we got some great matches this week, so get your cookies and milk, sit on down, don't frown, and see all the great matches from the Boston Garden, because nobody got them, no one can get them, and you're only able to see us on cable, and YouTube, of course. All right, here's a shot of the High Chief, Peter Maivia. That's the Rock's grandfather, that's right. And he used to run that Pacific Wrestling in Hawaii. And basically, if you can notice on this particular picture, he does not have any tattoos on his legs and all over the place. But this was an old one from Cow Palace. And he was a great name out there in California, Roy Shaw's Cow Palace. And he made his way over to the WWF at the time, I believe, had many matches with Chief Jay Strongbow. Then he turned on Strongbow. Then he had some great matches with Bruno. And then he retired before he passed away at his age, too. But there he is, the High Chief, Peter Maivia, with no tattoos. All right, we're back here, the Boston Garden. That's right, we're back here at the Boston Garden, and we got the big one this week we're going to be showing you, and that's right, it is basically a big show at the Boston Garden. It was called January 20th, 1979, Chief Peter Maivia versus Bruno Sammartino, and we're going to show you that match momentarily, but we got the lineup for that particular show, and we got it right here. Tonight's official lineup. The main event was the living legend Bruno Sammartino from Abruzzo, Italy against High Chief Peter Maivia. Tag Team Championship, Tony Gurria, Larry Zbyszko against Baron Cicluna and Victor Rivera. Fabulous Moolah. She beat Joyce Grable in 14 minutes and 50 seconds. Stan the Man Stasiak from Buzzards Creek, Oregon, beat Chief Jay Strongbow, I believe it was a DQ, 7 minutes and 9 seconds. And I believe Pete Doherty beat Mark Tendler in 8 minutes and 49 seconds. And I believe Mike Pappas beat Dave Darrow from New Jersey in 5 minutes and 49 seconds. Then we had Johnny Rods, the unpredictable one, beat Silvano Souza in 5 minutes and 10 seconds. And that was the big lineup for January 20th, 1979. All right, we got the return match, I believe, or one of the matches of the three, I believe. This one is March 3rd, 1979. Return match, Bruno Sammartino versus High Chief Peter Maivia. This was the return match. And the tag team championship for that night was Luscious Johnny, Handsome Jimmy against Tony Garea and Larry Zbyszko. And basically, Greg the Valentine pinned Dominic DeNucci in 16 minutes and 25 seconds. Johnny Rodz got pinned by Steve Travis in 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Alan Coolidge from New Jersey, 9 minutes 49 seconds, pinned Dave Darrow. Tony Altamori, the man with the Saucicholas, beat Joe Cardinale by DQ. And then Mike Hall beat Fred Marzino, 12 minutes and 25 seconds. Pete Doherty, 14 minutes and 10 seconds. DQ, Silvano Souza. All right, that was the big lineup for that second match. Then we had a steel cage match, which we're going to show you in part of the three lineups, with Maivia and Bruno in the cage. And that was the last show that I actually filmed from the Boston Garden. And that was the cage match, and we got that for you too. All right, here's another lineup. This is a big one. This was the Boston Garden. It was a championship match. It was Bruno Sammartino against George Steele. And the tag team match was Tanaka and Mitsu Awakawa against Calhoun and Rivera. Kowalski beat Dominic DeNucci. Sullivan got pinned by Baron Cicluna. Cowboy Bradley and Pee Wee Russell beat Billy the Kid and Frenchie Lamont. An added match was Crazy Luke Graham against Antonio Pugliese. Dynamite Joe Cox beat Louis Cerdan. And that was the big lineup for that show. And then they had some clips, as you can see, from the Fenway Park show with Kowalski. And that was a stretcher match. And you can see that lower hand, the lower shot with Bruno hitting Kowalski with that chair. We got a very famous picture of that floating around here somewhere. All right, we got the big one, Abe Ford, the Grand Slam, first show at Fenway Park. We got the big one. As you can see, that grobbler, Abe Ford, he always gets in that picture, signed this particular program, which we hope will bring some dinero someday. And the front cover of that was a great shot, too, of that program. And then we had the main event for that particular program. You can change it to the front cover if you got the cover shot of Kowalski. All right, there's that front cover shot of that big show at Fenway Park, the big showdown. That's right, it was a Sicilian stretcher match. Bruno Sammartino beat Killer Kowalski, steel cage match. The original Sheik beat Dick the Bird Dog Brower, 10-man battle royal. Victor Rivera beat George Steele. Ladies, 6-man tag, and the little guys, 6-man tag too. And what a great show this was at Fenway Park. This was one of the big shows with Kowalski. As you know, that was one of Bruno's real tough opponents. He was the king of endurance, and basically he could go an hour without even blinking. And that was a great show at Fenway Park. And I think that was the only show they had at Fenway Park, the greatest show ever presented. And as you can see, that's the Sheik, the original Sheik, from Detroit. And in the corner there, you got a couple of shots of Bruno and Kowalski. Kowalski sticking his fingers down Bruno's throat. And in the far corner, you got the little guys. And it was a great show, needless to say. I didn't get to see it, but all the people that may have can remember the memories of Fenway Park. All right, we're back here, wrestling at the Garden. The battles from New York, shoots, loots, and all the things that went on in the mad battles at Madison Square Garden. This one's a big one. March 16th, 1964. Attendance was 18,717, and the gross was $58,996.09. The Worldwide Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Title Match. Bruno Sammartino beat Dr. Jerry Graham in 8 minutes and 33 seconds. And Gorilla Monsoon versus Killer Kowalski was canceled due to the curfew. Bobo Brazil drew Hans Mortier in 20 minutes. Argentina Paula and Don Clarity beat Magnificent Maurice and Boris Malenko. 2 falls straight, 20 minutes and 7 seconds. Ernie the Cat Lad beat Klondike Bill in 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Bill Watts, the Cowboy, beat Crazy Luke Graham in 12 minutes and 52 seconds. The Mighty Little Guys, Tiny Tim and Irish Jackie beat Sky Low Low and Fuzzy Cupid. 2 falls to 1, 19 minutes and 45 seconds. Pedro Morales, he beat Bobby Davis at a DQ 5 minutes and 8 seconds. Miguel Perez beat Lou Bastien in 15 minutes and 53 seconds. And that was the Battle of New York. All right, we're back here. Memories of the Boston Garden. We showed you the programs. We showed you all the great programs with all the great matches in the lineup. And now we're going to show you the Mat Classics from the Boston Garden with High Chief Peter Maivia against the living legend, Bruno Sammartino. And we're back here at the Boston Garden, the great Mat Classics. These are the last 3 times you're going to see Bruno Sammartino appearing here in Boston. It's Bruno Sammartino versus the High Chief Peter Maivia, the grandfather of The Rock. These are the great Mat Classics from the Boston Garden. You're only going to see him here on the Mat Classics headquarters. There's the bell. Maivia hit him with that headbutt before the bell. And it's Maivia now with some heavy blows across the head of Sammartino. A blatant chokehold now by the High Chief Peter Maivia, the Polynesian champion from Honolulu, Hawaii, the grandfather of The Rock. And he keeps chopping away on Sammartino. Eddie Santa Maria trying to break it up now as Maivia has Sammartino in the corner with a blatant chokehold. Sammartino now waiting to get some wind back. Trying to move to the other side of the corner, trying to get out of the clutches of High Chief Peter Maivia. Big boot to the midsection now, sending Peter Maivia back a couple of feet. Rams him into that turnbuckle now as Sammartino, the Abruzzi strongman now. And Maivia finds his way outside the ring, looking for higher grounds. Back in the ring, it's Maivia in the corner now. Sammartino with a couple of rights and lefts to the midsection. Coming up with the right-hand blow to the side of the head. It's Maivia on the receiving end of Bruno Sammartino's heavy right-hand blows. Outside the ring now, Maivia. And Sammartino got the crowd behind him here, 100% here in Boston. And Bruno now, a rake across the eyes now by the High Chief. Sammartino comes back with an elbow now. A big blow to the midsection now, and Sammartino gets caught with a headbutt in the corner. The High Chief Peter Maivia looks like a stocky 300-pound man. Whips Bruno into the corner now. Into the opposite corner, it's Sammartino. Nobody home. Maivia hits that steel corner buckle. That steel ring post. Maivia hanging on for dear life. Sammartino getting pushed back by Eddie Santa Maria. And he steps in with the boot across the throat. And Maivia's starting to find out what Sammartino's about. If you want to choke, he can choke too. And it's Sammartino Maivia now. He's working on the arm of Peter Maivia. Sammartino wrenching the arm across the top rope, stretching out the ligaments, the bicep, the tricep. Now he's got Maivia down in the middle of the ring with this world-famous hammerlock now. The crowd loves this move in Boston. Wrenching it up and down. 4, 5, 6. The crowd beginning to count now. 7, 8, 9, and they're up to 10 now. And Sammartino wrenching the arm of the High Chief, Peter Maivia, the Polynesian champion, making his way into the World Wrestling Federation. And Sammartino showing him what it's all about, to be in the ring with the living legend. And he's wrenching that arm again now across that top rope. Maivia outside the ring looking for high grounds. Back in the ring, it's Sammartino working on that arm, but Maivia rakes the eyes of the champion, Bruno Sammartino. Big turnbuckle now by Peter Maivia. And Maivia now sending Sammartino into that turnbuckle again. Down across the trapeze muscle, it's Maivia working on them trapeze. Big elbow by Sammartino. Maivia working on that trapeze muscle, trying to weaken the neck of Sammartino. Bruno now with a big elbow to the midsection, sending Maivia back a couple of feet. And a big right hand blow to the head of Peter Maivia.
back again on that trapeze muscle. It's Maivia trying to work down Sammartino. Back with the right hand blow, sending Maivia reeling. Sammartino known for those heavy right hand blows and those heavy deep boots to the midsection now, throwing you off the ropes, hits you deep with that boot. Now Maivia got Sammartino down for a low blow. It's Peter Maivia working now on Sammartino with those devastating blows to the midsection. Sammartino coming back. Oh, a headbutt now. The Polynesian champion. Samoan headbutt. Wobbling around. It's Maivia. Right hand blows. Maivia down on the mat. Sammartino walks across him. Big heavy knee to the side of the head, and then high chief Peter Maivia looks to be a little dazed at this point. Bruno Sammartino taking no back seat. Watching out now for Peter Maivia, whipping into the corner now. It's Sammartino falling in with a big boot to the midsection. Bruno rails him outside the ring with the heavy right hand. Outside the ring, it's Maivia. He's got a chair now. Watch out for him now. Watch out for this chair. Oh, Sammartino gets caught. He gets caught off the head with the chair. This is going to be a disqualification. Maivia putting the boots to Sammartino. There's the bell. Here comes one of the wrestlers outside the ring trying to help out Sammartino. He gets caught with a big chop by Maivia. Here comes a couple of more wrestlers. Larry Zbyszko, Tony Garea. Looks like Maivia might have been disqualified. And we're back here for the big return match. Bruno Sammartino, High Chief Peter Maivia. This is going to be a fast and furious match. Sammartino, oh, he attacks him before the bell. Sammartino like a wild bull, putting heavy boots to the midsection and the side of the head now with heavy blows. Sammartino, a wild animal. Maivia over the top rope. Unbelievable now as Sammartino, after last month here in Boston, getting clocked with that chair. Sammartino got more energy. He's a ball of fire. Maivia on the receiving end of the Abruzzi strongman, the wild man from Abruzzi, Italy, putting the boots to Peter Maivia. Unbelievable. Maivia starting to find out why Bruno Sammartino was known for those wild right hands. Another boot to the midsection, followed up by those rights and lefts to the midsection now. Sammartino like an animal. He can't be controlled or contained here tonight. Irish whip into the corner now with Maivia. Big boot. He buried that one deep. Sammartino putting the boots to Peter Maivia. Heavy, heavy blows. Maivia all over the place outside the ring. Oh, he hit him with a low blow. That was a low blow. Sammartino caught in the corner now by the High Chief, Peter Maivia. Sending him reeling now, working on the trapeze muscles of Sammartino. It's the High Chief as he gets stomped on by Bruno, stepping on the bare feet. Heavy right knee to the side of the head of the High Chief, followed up on right to the kisser. Maivia in the corner now. Little reversal by Maivia. Sammartino out of the way into that steel corner buckle. That steel ring post, a little smart. Those don't move. And he's outside the ring again. Back in the ring at Sammartino, Maivia. Oh, he caught him with that Samoan headbutt. Another headbutt now. And Maivia now working on that trapeze. Bruno breaks out. Big elbow to the midsection. A second elbow now. Maivia. Big boot. Maivia looks to be a little out on his feet. A reversal by Peter Maivia now, sending Sammartino into the corner. Maivia gets caught with two boots to the midsection, and Sammartino sends him reeling into the middle of the ring now. Maivia begging off, he's outside the ring, and Sammartino slingshots him, guillotines him across the throat. Another high knee to the side of the head of High Chief Peter Maivia. Sammartino remembers how he lost the match last time with a chair across the head. And Bruno now coming on strong in the corner. The Chief, Peter Maivia, on the receiving end of some heavy right hands. Sammartino with the boots. He rams him into that steel corner post. Maivia looks to be out. He may be out on his feet, but Sammartino don't care. He's going crazy. Maivia looks to be busted open. He must have busted him open now. Sammartino sends him outside the ring. They're fighting outside the ring now. This could be a double count out. Maivia trying to get back in the ring now. Bruno holding on. Looks like Sammartino got counted out. The winner of the fall in this match is Peter Maivia, the High Chief. This is going into number 3. It's going into a steel cage. The steel cage match will come out of this one, and Sammartino can't be contained. He's going crazy on the High Chief, Peter Maivia. Sammartino, an angry man in the middle of the ring right now. Doesn't like to lose matches like that in the count-out. Here it is, it's the big one. It's the steel cage match. Bruno Sammartino against the High Chief, Peter Maivia. And this is going to be a quick steel cage match because Bruno was like a caged animal. And Maivia attacks him before the bell. Headbutt by Maivia now, and Sammartino down in the middle of the ring now. You gotta watch out for that Polynesian champion, that hard head now. Going for the door was Peter Maivia. Oh, he raked him across the eyes now. Maivia trying to get up on top of this high, 15-foot high steel cage match here in Boston. This was Bruno Sammartino's last appearance here in Boston. Maivia rams him into that steel cage now. Running for the door now, it's Peter Maivia. As Sammartino rams him into that steel cage. And the High Chief now sent reeling as the Abruzzi strongman starts to put those heavy right boots to the kisser and the face of the High Chief, Peter Maivia, the grandfather of The Rock, the third generation wrestler now, as High Chief Peter Maivia now up on the top of that steel cage. Sammartino got a hold of his foot. No way! Ramming Maivia into that steel cage now. Peter Maivia starting to find out that Bruno's favorite match is a steel cage as he rams him. He's ramming his head. He's bouncing his head off that cage like a basketball. And Sammartino, this is the third and final Donnybrook inside this 15-foot high steel cage. This was Sammartino's last appearance in Boston, and he's going out in style as Maivia starts to ram Sammartino into the cage. This is the most brutal match. A brutal steel cage match here in Boston. And Maivia likes to work on the trapeze muscle of Sammartino. And Sammartino an elbow to the midsection now. And coming back, it's Maivia with the right blow inside the head of Sammartino. This is the best of Bruno Sammartino, Volume 2 of the Great Mad Classics from the Boston Garden. Maivia now up to that top rope, trying to jump off that cage. Sammartino pulls him back in now. He's putting some heavy boots to the side of the head. Rams him into that cage now. It's Maivia. He's on the receiving end of a real bad temper. And Sammartino. Oh, Maivia got one leg out. One leg out, but Sammartino grabs on. Pulls him back into the middle of the ring. It's Bruno Sammartino. And he's going to ram Maivia right into that steel post. Oh! Sammartino ramming Maivia into that steel cage. Boot to the side of the head now, and Maivia now all over the place as the Abruzzi strongman starting to put those deep boots to the midsection of the High Chief Peter Maivia. He's going out in style. He's going out the way he came in. Unbelievable action here in the Great Mad Classics. You won't see these anywhere. Maivia rammed into the cage. Sammartino, a wild animal. Oh, he rammed him into that steel post. Maivia's always railing. Another one now. Sammartino, a crazy, wild lion. Unbelievable now. Sammartino takes him back into the middle ring now. He's going to ram him on the other side of this cage. I hope you enjoyed the Great Mad Classics, Volume 2. Bruno. Yeah! The winner, Bruno Sammartino. See you next time on the Great Mad Classics from the Boston Gardens.
We're back here. Did you enjoy those Mad Classics? The jumps, the bumps, all the things that were going on with Sammartino and High Chief Peter Maivia, Rocky's grandfather. You see that shot when they went to put Bruno's head into the turnbuckle? He did it for himself. He just did it like this, but there was no hand on the back of his head. He just went like that. But that were the good old days of the memories of the Boston Garden, and they were throwing toilet paper down in that cage match. I don't know if they thought that someone had to go to the bathroom or something, but they were throwing toilet paper down. And that match was the last match that I filmed at the Boston Garden, steel cage match with High Chief Peter Maivia against Bruno Sammartino, and that was the end of it. There was no more filming for me because I had no more interest, because Hulk Hogan was coming in and doing all that, hey brother, and this and that, and your vitamins and all that other stuff. All right. Now we got a special thing coming up. We're not going to say it right now, but when you hear it, you're not going to believe it. That's right. 1963. I'm just going to give you that little tip. I'm not going to give you a big tip. I'm not going to give you a steak tip. Maybe I will bring some steak tips. Who knows? But we're going to be back here again for number 10. This is number 9. Number 10 is coming. Well, hopefully maybe we'll get everybody that was on the show on one set. All right. Here's a picture. One of my favorite pictures. This was Bruno Sammartino. Now, remember the Sports Illustrated that they had for the regular sports, but there was a magazine back in the day called Wrestling Illustrated, and that picture with Bruno with the light blue tights without the belt on, that was around 63, and the other one was the famous Bruno Sammartino pose, which was the ultimate picture at the time. Bruno Sammartino, and that was the inside clip cover of the book that came out, Bruno, and it showed all his matches from Boston, Pennsylvania, all around New York. All his opponents were to be Tanaka, Koloff, Kowalski, Bill Watts, pictures of Bruno in Australia. There was a lot of great, if you can find that book, I got it, but if you can find it now, I don't know. But we also got the great workout of Bruno Sammartino. See those great traps, chest, biceps. I got the Bruno Sammartino course on working out. I'm going to pull it out of my chest. In the next show, we're going to have it for you. The Bruno Sammartino workout. You believe it? You better believe it. Because you know why? You're hearing it from firsthand. The Boston bad boy, historian of all the wrestling from 71 all the way up to, well, like I said, the Peter Maivia match. All right. Here's a couple of pictures of these guys here. Oh, yeah, we got them going strong right here, Bruno Sammartino and superstar Billy Graham. And I tell you what, if you can remember the guy on the bottom that got his hand on the hip, if you can remember his name, I'll send you a Happy Meal. Crusher Verdue, my name is Verdue, how do you do? That's right, he was a big guy too. He sold out Madison Square Garden with Bruno, and that was a big sellout back in the day that I remember, Crusher Verdue against Bruno Sammartino. Here's another picture of Bruno. Good old Bruno with his belt, and that's a great shot of him. Back, I believe that's probably around his second. That was his second reign, because that's a red belt. I think that was Morales' belt. Here's a bloody one, bloody Bruno in Madison Square Garden. That had to be against someone like Kowalski or who knows, but he had some wild matches in Madison Square Garden that people say hardcore wrestling. Well, wrestling was always hardcore. It mattered who you were in the ring with, and when Kowalski wrestled Bruno, you knew you were going to get your money's worth. Here's the one right here. Here it is. Socket 2 and Bruno. Now, this particular poster, as you can see, and it's probably worth about $5,000 in Bitcoin. If you want to buy that with your Bitcoin money, just call me. But anyways, this came with a 45, and it had a great interview with Bruno Sammartino, and guess what? You people here at Saugus TV, are going to get to hear this interview momentarily as I reach over here and see if I get everything set up right. I hope I do, because we got it here right for you. Okay, here we go.
May 17, 1963. Since then, you have met all comers. In your opinion, Bruno, who was your toughest opponent? Well, when you talk about the toughest opponent, I don't think if there's any one man that I can name. I'd have to name about 5, I think, because in a different way they're equally tough. They each have given me an equally hard time, and I'm referring to Tanaka for one because of his ability as not only as a great wrestler but as a karate expert, and of course he uses a combination of both, which make him extremely tough. Then you have the killer Kowalski. To me, he's the king of endurance. This man can go for an hour or two and not even take a deep breath. So the fact that his endurance is so great, it makes him exceptionally tough. Then you have a man like Gorilla Monsoon, who weighs over 400 pounds. 400 pounds of power, and in his way, just for his skill of the game, his speed, and then that power, it makes him exceptionally tough. Thank you very much. Bruno, in your opinion, what are some of the rougher wrestlers in the game and their overall effect on wrestling? Well, you have the man like George Steele, you have the Koloffs, you have the Mongols. The effect on the game is that I believe that these tough wrestlers, with their tough tactics, make the professional wrestling more of a brawl than a scientific sport, which should be, because wrestling is a beautiful sport if it were executed according to more strict rules. But unfortunately, with the tactics that some of these men use, make it more like a brawl than wrestling. Thank you. Bruno, many fans are interested in entering the wrestling game. Do you have any advice to these people? Any advice for them? I would say that any young man was interested in professional wrestling, he should, number one, do some kind of amateur wrestling in his school or high school, college, or any private club or wherever. And he should also train with barbell along with other training, because barbell will give him the size which he will require, and good size, muscular size, which will come very, very handy for him. But he should not just gain weight like I've run into some fellas that gain weight in any way that they can by overeating and so forth. This is bad weight. It's got to be good conditioned weight. Well, thank you very much, Bruno. Do you have anything to say to your fans? Well, only that I always enjoy wrestling before them, and I sincerely hope that to be around for a good while yet, and as long as they want to see me wrestle and appreciate my type of wrestling, I'll certainly continue to do my best in that ring for them. Yeah, thank you very much, Bruno. Thank you.
All right, we're back here. Memories of the Boston Garden, but that was a long, long time ago with Bruno Sammartino in that particular interview, 1963. And you know what the name of the guy was that was interviewing that particular Bruno Sammartino night? His name was K-Fabe. That was the name that they come up with on the 45s, as K-Fabe Productions. And, Bruno on there, and he's talking about all those guys. And then, as you notice, he's talking about Koloff, Tanaka, Killer Kowalski, a couple of guys. But back in the day, there was only a few amount, when they went into those big towns, they only had, a couple of guys that could really, use. So now when you see the Tribal King and everybody else, it's just unbelievably clubby. But anyway, I can remember a lot of the Bruno Sammartino matches, and I can't really remember a great Hulk Hogan match, except there was one that I went to Worcester, and Bob Backlund was wrestling Hulk Hogan, and it was a really good match, and I think it may have been shown, but if you want to request it. Another thing I want to talk about is I got a whole bunch of these pictures I want to give away here. We're going to find a way to come up with some of these pictures I have. I got all sorts of these pictures, but you right into the TV over here, Saga's TV, hook up and find out a way, and we'll get some questions going on how to win the pictures. We're going to do that in the weeks to come, and we're also going to talk about a lot of other things that are going to be coming up in the summer months. Hopefully I can grab a fair. I think I'm going to be at, I believe, a couple of amusement parks. And Canopy Lake Park is going to come up with something if they can come up with the dinero. No one has no dinero. You got to have the dineros to bring these guys in today. These guys want more money to wrestle than before the COVID brought them. They want more money, and the airlines, and who's going to trust this and that. All right, well, we're going to come back with a couple of pitches, and then we're going to go into the end of the show, and I hope you enjoyed everything so far. Thanking everybody that's been watching. Memories of the Boss Garden is number 9. It feels so fine. We're going to go to number 10. Going to bring on another friend. We're going to get maybe all of them on at once, all the people that were on. That would be great if we can get everyone at once, but that's kind of hard to do. It's kind of get everyone's going this way, that way, like an elastic band pulling this way, that way. But we're coming back at you with some great pitches. All right, here's a great shot. Not too many people have done this to Bruno Sammartino, maybe once or twice in a tag match, but this was the night that Bruno Sammartino was pinned for the WWF Worldwide Wrestling Federation title. That's right, Madison Square Garden. This was a great shot, and what happened was when Koloff come off the top rope and hit him with that knee drop across his chest, and you could hear a pin drop in Madison Square Garden. You already thought that maybe something went wrong, and I guess Bruno thought that there was something wrong with his hearing because it was so quiet after that. He thought that maybe something had happened. But this was a great match, and we do have it, but we will not show this match on local cable or anything because basically they'll either come after me or whatever with the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, because I think they still have the trademark on it. But we're looking for some great filmmaker that wants the film of Koloff beating Bruno. All right, there you go. Here's one at Marshfield Fair with a friend of mine, one of the lady wrestlers, the incredible, she was incredible wrestler. I think it was Amber, the incredible Amber. And she had some great matches at Marshfield Fair with Lexi Sexis. As you may know, she's on the TNA or the Impact there. And she's the other girl that wrestled with her. She had some great matches with her along Marshfield Fair. We're going to see if we can get some of the fairs up there. It's fair season again. We got, we had New England fairs. We had Marshfield Fair. We had Bolton Fair. We had a lot of fairs. And we'll dig them up for you for the summer, hopefully somewhere. All right, here's an old picture of me and Tony Romo. This one was in the Boston Globe. Tony's uncle used to work for the Globe. They did a big story on the Boston Bad Boys back in the day and the hard knocks of professional wrestling, which was at the professional wrestling school that I had over in Malden that was taken over by Killer Kowalski. And that was a great picture. It was in the, I believe, the Boston Globe center page. That was a double fold out. That was on one side and they had the story on the other. Great story on the hard knock school of Rocky Raymond back in the day. All right, here's one right here. This is Ric Flair. I got this picture back a couple of years back when Ric Flair came up to, I believe it was Sports World up on Route 1. And it was around October, so we had a van pull up with about 9 or 10 Ric Flairs all dressed up like him. I think I showed that one on one of my shows, and if you want to look it up, go on YouTube, and you can see it, Sports World, and you can see all the great things that were happening that day. All right, what's coming at us here? We got all these things coming from the sky. We got it going on, but we're coming. We're coming from the sky too. We're coming from the satellites of the Saugus TV right here. We got it all. We got memories of the Boston Garden. We got the best of Empire Pro Wrestling. We got it all right here. We got legends. We got it all. So keep it tuned in. It might be Saturday mornings, 10 to 11, 11 to 12. Might be another day, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're on so many days here. You're going to have to watch it. Watch it right here on Saugus Community Cable EPW. All right, we're back here. Memories of the Boston Garden. We're going to wrap it up. We've got about 10 minutes left. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that have been going on with the WWE. They're changing it over. They're putting some more nice shows on TV. I'm not really, I watch the Raw to fall asleep, whatever. But now they have on the thing with biographies, which has been going on for a couple of months now, I believe. Probably a little longer, but all the ones that I have seen so far have been pretty good. They had the Hogan against Andre, and then they had the Macho Man one, then they had, I believe, the Roddy Piper, and then they had the Rivals with the two girls, Trish Stratus and Lita, going back and forth, how they sort of changed the wrestling and really got into the brawling of it all. And those shows are pretty good, so if you get a chance to watch them, they're not too bad. And the last one that I saw I thought was very interesting was the one they had on King Jerry Lawler. Well, I knew that he was, good with the pencil and drawings and all that stuff and drawing some things, but I didn't realize that he got into wrestling through the, drawing, because he used to do certain things. And Jackie Fargo, which was an old time, well, some of you people may not know the name Jackie Fargo, but you can Google it. And Jackie Fargo was one of the big names down in Tennessee. He was like Hulk Hogan up here, or Bruno Sammartino, or Dusty Rhodes in Florida. But what he did was he wanted some artwork for his bar. And somehow Jerry Lawler got involved with doing his artwork on his bar, but Jerry Lawler wanted to become a pro wrestler, and this is how he broke into the business, by doing some artwork for Jackie Fargo's bar. And then what he did was he got into the wrestling business, and look what it turned out. Unbelievable. I mean, the money that he's made, and then they made him bigger than life in Tennessee. He was unbelievable. He was bigger than Hulk Hogan was. He beat everybody from Hulk Hogan to Ric Flair to every big name there was, because they came through his territory. And what do you think happened? He got beat. It's like when I ran my shows. When I come back from Florida, oh, Dusty Rhodes put himself over, huh? Oh, he's pushing himself. Oh, I came back to New England. I did the same thing. Not that the main event guys were that great, but that's how I made that Dungeon Master and all the other names that came up along the way. It's just too bad it didn't go all the way, because the Dungeon Master gimmick was a great gimmick, and all the other gimmicks that I come up with. I copied the Ball of Fire in the with the Tony Rumble match and Dungeon Master. But getting back to Jerry Lawler, the King, unbelievable, the things that he's done. And then they showed on there him having a heart attack on live TV, which was really crazy. But he lasted a long way, and he's still wrestling. He's like the oldest. He's still doing shows that I know of up until today. And I know that I saw him on there in an independent show against Kevin Owens. And he's still doing independent shots also, believe it or not, Jerry the King Lawler. But getting back to that, and then they had the other one on there with Paige, which, I really didn't the girl wrestling, it was like like the novelty match, the girls around. But let me tell you something about this girl, Paige. They actually, The Rock made a movie about her, of course, but the way she came up with her fathers, the Band of Gypsies, the WAW, World Association of Wrestling down there in the UK down there, and she really, really put some work into becoming a professional wrestler back then in independence, and she got herself booked amazingly everywhere. She knew how to do the computer and booked and booked and booked, and then finally she got that big tryout for the WWF. She went on to the WWF, and when they brought her in like gangbusters. She was on the NXT. Her first match on Raw, she became the Divas champion. Now that's saying something. Someone, doing something, but she was a great wrestler, and her style of wrestling was a little different than the regular ladies wrestling that you'd see, the typical lady wrestling. She would do these different stuff, these kicks and all this other things, and it was great up until one point. She got involved in doing a little porno, and you got it shown, and it sort of spiraled her career down, which, and they kept showing and talking about it on this biography, but she came out of that too, because she had to go through that problems with the drugs and the boyfriends and all the other things that went on with her, but she pulled out of it somewhat, and I believe now she's doing some work with AEW. So basically, I think that she come out of it, I guess, and she knows her stuff, and it's good, because we don't want another tragedy going on. We don't want to hear another China story. That was another biography they did, which they kiboshed completely, her manager or whatever it was, but in the end. But in the weeks to come, you're going to see some great things here at Saugus TV, whether it'll be all the other great shows they got on. You got all the great workers here. You got the incredible Rachel. You got the magnificent Michelle. You got Mr. Graphics. That's right. John, Mr. Graphics, and you got my man, the Big A. That's right, he does it all. He switches it, he hips it, he haps it, he does it. He does the sports. He'll take you to court. He'll turn you. He'll burn you. He'll do it all right here at Saugus TV. And of course, the big man, the man that built the house, like Paige used to say. This is my house. Well, this is Brian's house with his whole family here that do a great job. And they do a lot of things, and they keep it coming, they keep it humming. Summer's gone away, so watch out for a lot of great things to come your way from Saugus Community TV. So be there and watch the great things that are going to happen with me. It's BBB, big, bold, and beautiful. Not too bold to hold, but I'll be back for number 10, so come on down and do it all over again. Where? Saugus TV. Memories of the Boston Garden.